18-hour student news. I'm here with World News, where a 16-hour Ukraine talk led to a peace deal. It took place in Ukraine, and Russia, France, and Germany presidents were there. A ceasefire will be effective starting on Sunday, as well as special status for rebel religions, border controls, and humanitarian issues. The Ukrainian president denied any agreement about autonomy. More than 5,300 people have died since April in fighting. That's why it led to this. They came to an agreement for a ceasefire, global political settlement, control of border, decentralization, and pullback of heavy weapons, resume economic relations. This is important because it shows that there should be peace everywhere, because when there's not, 5,300 people died, and we don't want that to happen again. Now to Joe with French News.
Over the last few weeks, NBC anchor and journalist Brian Williams has been investigated for his lies about the Iraq War. He said during his tour in 2003, his helicopter was shot down and crashed. He also says he saw a dead body floating in the French Quarter during his tour. On Wednesday, NBC stated that the 55-year-old anchor is being suspended for 6 months without pay. Brian Williams makes over $10 million a year for being an anchor for NBC and a journalist around the world. He joined NBC on December 2nd, 2004, right after he allegedly got shot down during his tour in March of 2003. In 2005, NBC awarded him the Peabody Award for his coverage during Hurricane Katrina of 2005. Brian Williams has covered and wrote some of the greatest news stories in the U.S. This is an important story because it can show if you lie about one thing, how it can have an effect on the rest of your life. Now to Max with State News.
A team of chemists and biologists have been awarded $3.3 million by the National Institutions of Health and Conduct extensive research on an antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Michael Van Nieuwenzy and Jevons Brun made a discovery that will help them understand the subject on a new level. By adding a generated chemical to cells in the form of a dye, they could locate where the bacteria are building their cell walls. Daniel Kearns, an associate professor of biology at IU and co-investigator on the team, calls antibiotic resistance the next big challenge at IU. Kearns says that with such a significant grant, they will be able to do pretty extensive research on when, where, and how bacteria make this wall. He says the team will be able to remain on the forefront of developing new processes and research. Now on to Ayana with technology and science news.
Self-driving car, you say? Vehicle ownership could drop as much as 43%, according to the new study from the University of Michigan Transportation Research Institute. This can affect you. Children and the elderly could get new freedom to move. Safety could increase under the control of non-drowsy computers with a 360-degree awareness. The people could get new hours in the day for checking email, watching videos, telephoning colleagues, reading books, or taking a nap. The car industry is gradually adding more automation to cars, starting with smaller steps such as parallel parking and computer emergency braking. More sophisticated self-driving car prototypes could eventually do just about everything, getting your passenger all the way from start to finish. Google has drawn a lot of attention with its research into self-driving cars. At one point, it was ready to do away with the steering wheel, but its latest prototype keeps traditional controls to satisfies California's testing requirements, and traditional car manufacturers are also moving forward with their own programs. Car usage could increase with self-driving cars according to the University of Michigan study. For example, a car could drop one person off at work, return home, perform errands, and then return to the workplace later to collect the person. If that happens, cars will travel more per year and wear out faster. The study said 20,405 miles per year on average instead of 11,000 today. There is a silver lining to faster upgrades. If this isn't the next good thing, what is? And now to Grace with good news.
Hi, I'm Grace and welcome to Good News. I'm sure you've all been through a car wash before. You're probably thinking of Mike's Car Wash or its new name, Crew Car Wash. No, we're talking about a car wash all the way down in Parkland, Florida called Rising Tide Car Wash. They made the news on February 10th, 2015 when people started to notice just how good their employees are. The secret to the success? 35 autistic employees. We view autism as one of our competitive advantages. They have a great eye for detail, said the company's COO, Tom DeErie. The reason Rising Tide Car Wash was opened is because of the owner's son who has autism. I don't want him to sit in a room taken care of by others once I'm gone. I want him to have a job. I want him to have friends, said John. It's great that people are learning to accept people's disabilities and are embracing them for the best. That's all for Channel 4 TCSN. Tune in next week for all news.